Why, hello. On today's show, we talk about the ceasefire agreement, JD Vance's big Sunday of lies, and who is getting fired from the federal government. And other things, too. Oh, hello. Hi. Welcome back to Even More News, the first and only news podcast. I'm Katie Stoll.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, first time doing this. Sorry. I'm Cody.
Yeah.
Johnston.
Cody Johnston.
Hello. Sorry. Hello. That's too close to hi. Greetings. I'll work on it. I'll work on a catchphrase.
Don't worry, Jonathan is also here. Calm down.
I'm going to do your bit, Cody. Hi, I'm, the name is Jonathan here. Hi, how are you?
Uh-oh, people are going to start confusing the two
Was
of
that
you,
too
aren't
brutal? I was just trying to be playful, and it sounds like I really slammed you.
Now I don't...
Get him, Jonathan, get him.
Now I have to change my bit.
Okay, well, that was fun. I'm sure everyone thinks we're adorable with our intros. But now it's time to talk about the news.
Yeah, I mean, stuff is happening right now. As of Monday morning, hostages from Gaza are going back to Israel. Prisoners, also hostages, prisoners from Israel are going back to Gaza and the West Bank. A couple dozen hostages and 2,000 Palestinians freed from Israeli jails. We can talk about the verbiage of how the media and former President Barack Obama details who these people are, but this is a fantastic development. So far, the ceasefire is holding. President Trump is in the Middle East taking a victory lap, feeling very confident that nothing's going to break down in the coming days and weeks. He has called it the end of the war. And we certainly hope so.
That's right. We certainly hope so. It's hard to fully believe, but I feel an amount of relief that the carnage element is hopefully over. I'm thrilled that people that have been held captive for 2 years are being reunited with their families. I'm very happy for them and for the families that are being reunited. And, you read about how they're seeing their families being shuttled off to hospitals to be given care, to assess the damage. And I can't help but think about how in Gaza, the prisoners being released, are their families still alive? Are there hospitals for them to go to seek care? What are they returning to?
Yeah, it's returning to the devastation.
It's hard to hold both of those things to be true. Like, I 100% am so happy that people are being reunited, but that doesn't exist without the reality of the other people as well.
Here's a quote in the New York Times from someone in Gaza, Syed Abu Aita, 44. They say, "There's nothing to be happy about. My 2 daughters were killed. My home was destroyed, and my health has deteriorated." It is, I am sure, a mix of relief and despair. And how could it not be?
You see the pictures of Gaza just completely leveled. What are you returning home to? But it is the start. It is positive. It's just doesn't stop being completely heartbreaking.
Yeah, amidst all that, and then people there, thinking positively about the rebuilding that needs to happen, and hopefully that does, and is the best version possible of it.
Yeah, Trump is over there, and he addressed the Israeli Knesset and did his thing, because it's like a campaign speech to him. So he's reading his prepared remarks, and then he rambles off.
What?
He said the president of Israel should pardon Prime Minister Netanyahu, prematurely.
Cool.
We look at past genocides at the end of the war, the aggression, the Holocaust or the Rwanda genocide. Universally, the bad guys were reviled, the
perpetrators of the genocide.
I'll say perpetrators of the genocide, of the aggression, were not hailed in any held in any kind of esteem or regard. And that's not what we're dealing with here. Instead, you have the president of the United States saying, "Pardon this man. Pardon the man that everybody hates."
It reminds me of the it's a Vanceism, I guess, nowadays, but this sort of like, be grateful, show your gratitude. Show your gratitude for what we did is what they always say when they talk about like the end of slavery, where it's like, yeah, you're welcome. The white people ended the slavery. And just sort of like, why aren't you grateful enough for this thing that we stopped doing?
Yeah, that person quoted in the New York Times who lost their 2 daughters probably isn't expressing enough gratitude to President Trump and Israel for ending the carnage.
Yeah, for calling them animals for 2 years. And
this is so bizarre. Like Trump, while this is going on and while families are being reunited and there is not a sense of finality, but a sense of progress in what has been going on the last 2 years. But now, Trump is over there trying to explain the deal, really. They were signing a document. He says, "We're going to be signing a document that's going to spell out a lot of rules and regulations and lots of other things. It's very comprehensive." And nobody knows what's in it. Trump and the leaders of Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey have signed some document, and they made a big deal out of it. He showed his signature, and it's like, what does this have to do with things? There's this confusing amount of Mid-East relations, as if this is a big, grand Mid-East agreement and not a, fragile ceasefire still.
But yeah, he's treating it like, look at this, like, big other, it's like kind of putting it under the umbrella of, like, his foreign diplomacy in the region generally.
Well, this is the 8th war he's stopped, so he says, right? It's like...
Is that going to get him into heaven?
Certainly isn't going to get him the Nobel Peace Prize, I guess.
Yeah, no peace prize, no heaven.
Everyone is upset about the fact that he didn't get that peace prize, including Putin.
Thanks for that guy's opinion.
I do feel happy or relieved that we're at this stage. It's just hard to celebrate when it's so fucking tragic and awful. And I don't know what's going to happen for them what's this going to look like? And how much of the Israeli settlers are going to keep the land that they have taken. And so we'll see.
Apple TV's slow horses. It's literally the only thing I want to be paying attention to right now. But that pesky news keeps getting in the way. Fortunately, I have a way of staying up to date on the news and keeping all the stories straight along with crucial context, and that's Ground News. It's a website and app which you can visit using that QR code over there that organizes news stories and aggregates articles from across the political spectrum so I can see not only what the news is, but how it's being covered. It allows me to quickly and efficiently drill down to the real story so I can get back to seeing that curmudgeon Jackson Lamb slag off the roustabouts over at Slough House. Or Slough House, I don't know how it's pronounced. I don't watch the show. For example, because of Ground News, I found out about this KFF poll conducted right before the government shutdown, showing that a majority of Americans wanted those ACA subsidies extended. Ground News gave me a succinct summary of the news, the exact number of outlets covering it, and with their bias distribution feature, made it easy to see that right-leaning outlets, for whatever reason, aren't really covering that story. What's the reason? Why would they not want to cover that information? A bunch of scheming Diana Taverners over there, am I right? That's probably a reference to Slow Horses. Again, I have not seen it and I know nothing about it. So get yourself over to ground.news/SMN. Using our link, you can get 40% off unlimited access, which also gets you a factuality analysis of each source. I've been working with Ground News for a long time, and when you check them out, you will see why. That's ground.news/SMN for 40% off. The link is in the description. The horses are slow, I assume. That's what that show's about? I don't know. Do I care? No.
This Shocktober, Pluto TV has all the scares. Literally all of them. All for free. So buckle up your scare belts and get ready for fan favorite horror movies like Paranormal Activity, The Ring, Scream, The Coppertone Killers, Murder on the Love Boat, From Dusk Till Dawn, From Solstice to Equinox, From SOD till EOD, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Shacula, that's Dracula, but with Shaq, 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 you get it, I don't need to explain. The Disgruntled Apparition, 21 Jump Scares, 28 Days Later, 35 Up the Stairs, 42 Upton Sinclairs, The Deadly Stenographers, and you know what? Stealth. So get all your Spooktober thrills for free on Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Do we want to talk about Vance's weekend on his Sunday on the news shows?
Do I want to? That's the wrong question. Will I? I guess.
Well, no one's going to talk about Tom Homan. That's over. He still has his fake job.
Mm-hmm.
So here is J.D. Vance being asked about the question on everyone's or no one's mind: is Tom Homan going to get to keep $50,000 that the FBI bribed him with?
I don't know what tape you're referring to, George. I saw media reports that Tom Homan accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here's, George, why fewer and fewer people watch your program and why you're losing credibility. Because you're talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile, low-income women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government. You are focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No,
Well,
George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
I thought that was a good follow-up from George in not taking his spin and then not letting him further make excuses. I just felt nauseous whenever I see him talk, but he was like, you are speaking to the vice president. I have never even heard of this, seen this. Not even grateful. You have time with the vice president, wasting my time insinuating XYZ. Like George cleared up. No, I wasn't insinuating anything. I asked you a point blank question. If you haven't seen any of that, that speaks volumes to your own work ethic. I don't know. It doesn't seem very good that the vice president presumably hasn't seen it or aware of what this story even is.
Yeah, what an absurd lie. What a liar.
Yeah.
What a lying guy. It's the thing that he does. It's very obvious. He's a little slimeball, and kudos for just saying, well, here's what you said, and here's what I asked. Why would we move forward? Why are we going to move on if you're going to be a liar like that? Also, I like this idea, like Tate, what you're talking about. It's like when Mike Johnson was asked about the enemy within speech that Hegseth and Trump did a little session they had. And Mike was like, well, I haven't seen it yet. Are you gonna? It's available. You should go watch that. And the idea, well, I've only seen it in reporting. Well, if you saw it in reporting, then you should look into it. As you say, you are the vice president, so maybe you could
it's
follow
all a
up
lie.
on the bribe. Obviously, it's a lie.
Yeah, it's obviously a lie, but it's not a good lie. That lie makes it seem like you don't do your job.
Yeah. Also, there's this line that he says that I'm going to get the exact quote because it's beautiful. It's one of those beautiful things he does.
I'm not sure you answered the question. Are you saying that he did not accept the $50,000?
George, this story has been covered ad nauseum. He did not take a bribe. Did he accept $50,000? I'm sure that in the course of Tom Homan's life, he has been paid more than $50,000 for services.
Yes.
Like a smug
like
dick.
a fucking piece of shit? He says, is it illegal to take a payment for doing services? Well, no, it's not illegal to take a payment for doing services, but that's not the situation being laid out in front of you, JD. It's that fucking tweet. It's like that like the right wing conservatives love to do, like, oh, so it's like illegal to like plan stuff with your friends. Yeah, we're talking about conspiracy. It's a conspiracy to do fraud. So it's illegal to just like hang out and make phone calls? No, he did, like, it was a quid pro quo situation with like Ukraine. What are you talking about? A phone call.
It's legitimately the internet hippo tweet. Is that?
It's that. That's exactly what I'm referring to. Yes.
I hate how I'm sorry. I apologize for saying it's like the meme, right?
But it is.
We must credit.
Memes exist for a reason, and JD being like, so it's illegal to like take money for services. Well, we're talking about a bribe, JD.
All right. Here's JD Vance being asked about if he agrees with President Trump that Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker should go to jail.
Well, I think Governor Pritzker has certainly failed to keep the people of Illinois safe. And it's interesting to me, Governor Pritzker will talk a lot, I'm sure, about how bad Donald Trump is, about how bad I am, and about how bad the administration is. He is the governor of a state that where its biggest city has murder rates that rival the most violent places in the third world, George. Why is he so mad at Donald Trump for trying to keep Chicagoans safe? He should be mad at the criminals that he has failed to keep at bay. We're trying to help him, and we're trying to help the residents of his biggest city. I wish that he would let us, because he certainly isn't doing the job himself.
I asked if you agree with President Trump that Governor Pritzker has committed a crime.
Well, I think that Governor Pritzker has allowed a lot of people to be killed in the city of Chicago and elsewhere, George. I think that it's disgraceful, and I think that he absolutely should suffer some consequences for the fact that there are thousands of innocent Chicagoans who are dead because he failed to do his job.
It's really a yes or no question. Do you believe he's committed a crime?
George, you're going to keep on asking this question. I'm going to keep on telling you that Governor Pritzker has failed to do his job. He should suffer some consequences. Whether he's violated a crime, ultimately, I would leave to the courts. But I certainly think that he has violated his fundamental oath of office. That seems pretty criminal to me. I'd leave it to a judge and jury to decide whether he's actually violated the crime.
Do you think the president should maybe do that too? You think maybe he's asking you the question because, unlike you, the president is out there saying that he did do a crime and should be in jail for crimes that he can't articulate? JD, this guy sucks.
As the governor of a state, if we're saying that everything that happens in that state is on the governor, then you would say that everything that happens in the country is on
we don't
the
do
executive of that.
No. That's what I kept thinking.
Country. But that's why they're like, well, that's why we're putting in the troops. We're doing the job you wouldn't do. Now, I think it's right for George Stephanopoulos. I do think it's one of Trump's best.
Slopolopoulos.
I think it's right for him to keep asking this question, right?
I do too.
Like,
yeah,
he said
it's a specific question,
right? Your boss said that the guy should be in jail. What do you think? But also, we could, I think it just feels that I've pointed out so many times that Memphis or wherever has a higher murder rate, and you seem to not care. There are mass shootings. While Vance is speaking, there are mass shootings going on in Mississippi and South Carolina. But because those don't fit their narrative, we're not gonna talk about them. Not yet. We don't know.
Everywhere is going to fit their narrative eventually.
They just have to find the right way to spin it. But no, that's not the focus right now.
And I don't think they should be sending troops to Mississippi and South Carolina either. My argument is no. Don't do
it's
none of that.
It's certainly
in the
frustrating, though.
Or
But
anywhere.
I will say, good job, George. I mean, it's not the answer we want because he's going to keep spinning, but he's calmly pointing out, you didn't answer the question. Again, you didn't answer the question. So anybody with 3 brain cells should be able to watch that and watch the man slipping and sliding around trying to avoid the question and continue to not answer it, and then just pawn it off on the judges and not address the fact that the president of the United States, his boss, is the one that floated this idea.
He is weaseling. He's weaseling. Don't let him weasel. He ends it with a quote maybe we can remember in the future. He has violated his fundamental oath of office. That seems pretty criminal to me. Gonna keep that one in our pocket, JD.
Our producer has pointed out to me that there are National Guard deployments in Memphis. I agree, and I will rebut. Well, not rebut. I will add, that's not what they're talking about, though.
Right.
That's not the president has never said that the governor of Tennessee should go to jail, even though they're deploying National Guards. It's a similar situation, yes. Why, right? Like,
which ones go to jail?
They're not tweeting about Memphis. They're not all over the place talking about Memphis. And they're saying, oh no, look, we're equal opportunity. Send the troops to hurt Americans because look at what we're doing in this city that has a Democratic mayor, I believe.
No, they're putting targets on the backs of the highest profile Democrats leading the charge against him, who presumably will be running for president in a couple of years. Against Donald Trump, maybe.
He presumes that.
Very off-putting lies from Mr. Vance. It's interesting, even like Trump is a liar. We've talked about this. We know he is a liar. But he's not as deliberate or obvious. Like sometimes it just seems like Vance is sort of like trying to convince himself of his own lies that he knows he has to tell. For example, when JD is asked about crime and how, well, like actually crime is down in both of these places you're attacking, he just like kind of has to lie to himself in real time and like convince himself. We can watch this clip.
Is that the case? Are you seriously considering invoking the Insurrection Act?
Well, the president's looking at all of his options. Right now, he hasn't felt he needed to, but we have to remember, why are we talking about this, Kristen? Because crime has gotten out of control in our cities, because our ICE agents, the people who are enforcing our immigration laws, have faced a 1,000% increase in violent attacks against them. We have people right now who are going out there, who are doing the job the president asked them to do, who are enforcing our immigration laws. They're being assaulted, they're being beaten, they're being shot at. The problem here is not the Insurrection Act or whether we actually invoke it or not. The problem is the fact that the entire media in this country, cheered on by a few far-left lunatics, have made it okay to tee off on American law enforcement. We cannot accept that in the United States of America. We want everybody, black or white, rich or poor, to be safe in the United States of America. But to do that, we have to empower our law enforcement agents to keep us safe. That's what we're talking about doing.
Couple of points here. First of all, an Illinois judge said that state and local authorities have been able to handle protest activity, that ICE, that other federal agencies have been able to continue to do their work. Crime is down in both Chicago and Portland, but is there a rebellion here? That's what would trigger an Insurrection Act. Is it imminent?
Kristen, crime is down in Chicago and Portland often because they're so overwhelmed at the local level, they're not even keeping the statistics properly. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had an ICE office get shot at by a far-left assassin who was trying to kill our law enforcement officers. He fortunately didn't kill law enforcement officers. He did kill some other innocent people in the process.
I've been waiting for this justification. What's the line that they're going to use about the reality that crime is down in these cities, that crime has been going down? How are they going to spin that? Oh, okay, you're just so overwhelmed by crime that you're not reporting it? That's fucking ridiculous and chilling and terrifying. You're just going to say that and let that go uncontested. Go ahead, Jonathan.
He is saying he's an absurdly confident liar because he's saying, well, the fact that the numbers are down is indicative that the numbers are higher, right? So if the numbers are higher, look at how much crime there is. If the numbers are lower, well, they're so overwhelmed they can't keep up with the crime. Where did you pull that one from?
Right?
That's a new one. I don't even know if that's part of the prep work. He needed an answer, and good for him. He pulled one out. He is an absurdly confident liar.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, and it's telling, he says crime is down in Chicago and Portland often because they're so overwhelmed. Often. How often? What do you mean? It's just those little words that he adds to bolster the lie, but also make it obvious that he is lying. It's like, even when he's like talking about, like when he brought up in that other clip, he's like, low income women aren't getting food. Do you care about that? Have you ever cared
about that? Yeah.
Like, do you mean like the childless cat ladies that you despise aren't getting enough food? Like, who are you talking about? At the end of that clip, we have to point out he brought up the ICE shooting, the far left ICE shooting,
right? Which
we have to say wasn't a far left person as far as we can tell. Seemed like a weird, like, trolley nihilist. The bullet that allegedly had anti-ICE written on it.
Sharpie written.
You can hear that chant. Anti-ICE, anti-ICE.
All the time. It's everywhere.
Portland.
So that's absurd, but also I think it's important to note, who cares? None of this matters. He's a piece of shit. But like, he's saying like, and they're trying to kill our ICE agents, but actually they shot innocent people. They're innocent people now? Excuse me? I thought they were all criminal alien invader terrorists who you've detained without due process. How do you even know that they're innocent if they don't get due process? Like, it's just that insidious, like, he shot innocent people. You hate those people. You think they're all criminals. You don't want them to be innocent, but he's using this moment to frame it like they are, or like that he thinks they are. And it's just very gross. What a gross man.
This ad is brought to you by Vive Healthcare, the makers of Apretude, cabotegravir. You never skip your SPF, and you carry hand sanitizer like an accessory. But what are you doing for HIV prevention? One way to help protect yourself from HIV is Apretude, a prescription medicine used to reduce the risk of getting HIV in adults and adolescents weighing at least 77 pounds. You must be HIV negative to receive Apretude and get tested before each injection. If you think you were exposed to HIV or have flu-like symptoms, tell your doctor right away. More HIV testing may be needed. Apretude does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections. Practice safer sex to reduce your risk. Get Apretude as scheduled. Missing doses increases your HIV risk. Don't take Apretude if allergic to it or taking certain medicines that may interact. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions, liver problems, and mental health. Serious side effects include allergic reactions or rash, liver problems, and depression. If these occur, get medical help right away. The most common side effect is injection site reaction. Bring your A game and talk to your doctor. Learn more at apretude.com or call 1-888-240-0340.
A bunch of different government agencies or employees at government agencies received RIF notices, reductions in force, saying that they're being fired. The administration's blaming this on the government shutdown, but it has nothing to do with that. This is what Russ Vought has wanted to do for a long time. It's in Project 2025. So here are some of the people that got laid off. The Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services within the Department of Education, except for a few top people, has been completely gutted. This is the office that makes sure that states are compliant with special education criteria across the U.S., which they're mandated to do because of a Civil Rights Act in the 1970s.
The whole conversation around the defunding of the Department of Education that we've had for months is highlighting specifically how much that affects special education.
Yeah, specifically.
And then, we are boy who cried wolf. Oh, we are making a mountain out of a molehill. Nope. No, we certainly are not.
Here's from page 326 of Mandate for Leadership, Project 2025. Most IDEA is that 1970s act. Most IDEA funding should be converted into a no-strings formula block grant targeted at students with disabilities and distributed directly to local education agencies by HHS's Administration for Community Living. So this is what they've wanted to do. They can't really blame it on Democrats. They also fired a whole bunch of people at the CDC and then rehired them a couple days later, specifically people involved in measles response.
How are our measles outbreaks doing? We got them under control? No?
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
People who work on Ebola, global health leadership, disease detectives. So a bunch of people were rehired. And it's unclear, to me at least, if those people were rehired because they were given these RIFs by mistake, or if Russ Vought wanted to fire them and then someone else above him noticed, hey, we need people to work on measles outbreaks because we're going to be having more of those.
Yeah, is this like incompetence, or like the reasonable person being like, actually, like, let's not go too far with this.
A lack of
this
communication.
Specific. Yeah.
There were another 176 people fired at CISA. That's the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, because DHS says that we want to get them, quote, back on mission.
They were fired so that they can get back on mission?
Well, so that the agency can get back on mission of having fewer people, I guess.
To protect our cybersecurity. Okay.
There used to be more than 2,500 employees at CISA, and now it is under 900. I don't know. It just feels like cybersecurity. Like we do tend to have other countries hack our shit. And
it does
break down
feel
our infrastructure. Like that happens.
Something that we desperately need.
Unless we like it.
And I mean, Doge already put all of our personal information into a database, right? Consolidated all of it. So it should be much easier for anybody to hack into and steal.
Yeah, didn't Dominion voting just get bought by some GOP dude anyway? Yeah. So like maybe we're just like cool with hacks. I don't know.
And yeah, TikTok is now going to be owned by some Republican billionaires.
Yeah, we're cool with hacks.
And is going to be just a pro-Trump platform. I don't even know if they'll be
Bari
able
Weiss
to
talk about a hack. Sorry,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is crazy. I mean, we got to end, but on CBS News now doing a special report from the Free Press about how New York City cops are going to walk off the job if Mamdani wins. And they had Olivia Reingold from the Free Press do a report on CBS News about that. Complete bullshit that the cops are all going to quit. If isn't it weird that like cops are like a right-wing organization that's like, if you do anything that is too left for us, we'll all quit?
Yeah, it's very odd. I mean, it's not odd. It makes perfect sense. Lines up pretty well. But like the idea, like, okay, what if there's like a left wing law that you need to enforce? Does that make you mad? You only do the right wing laws? You only and the answer is yes, apparently.
Also, they won't quit. Being a cop
they won't quit.
In New York City or LA or a big city is a great gig. You make a lot of money. If you don't look up how much the cops in your area make. They make a lot of money. You know, there's you're just doing a lot of standing around and
you do
harassing people of color. Like that's it's a pretty sweet gig if you like making a lot of money for doing bad shit.
Yeah. Or just like play 2 dots on your phone on the subway.
Maybe they'll quiet quit.
They'll start doing a bad job.
All right. Well, as always, I appreciate you guys for joining us. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. You know what? Also, please remember.
What?
We love you very much.
What? Oh,
we love them very much.
Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry.